In a world like this, media can help us to feel closer to one another, creating a sense of unity of the human family, which can in turn inspire solidarity. Solidarity is the union that makes us strong. With that, Salaam Alaikum, dear viewers. Thank you for logging on and welcome on our second of 5 series on the Quarantainment talk shows with me, Zamina Kasam. In line with our topic for tonight, how to use this opportunity to connect with your family and creator, I would like to introduce our esteemed guest, Sheikh Azim Shirazi, the Director of Islamic Religious Education at Al-Muntazir School. Assalamu alaikum and welcome.
Thank you very much, and walaikum assalam.
So Sheikh Shirazi is a graduate in Commerce and Masters in Educational Psychology. He studied in Iran, Hausa, and he graduated in Islamic Studies. However, Sheikh, I believe that you have so many other areas that you're working on. Can you just brief us a little bit?
Yeah, a brief introduction will be that I am teaching child psychology in Madrasatul Zahra, and I train teachers on this education. And in school, apart from my religious education, I am training counselors on educational counseling and social counseling. I have worked on family issues, child upbringing, and how to strengthen family relationships. I do social counseling as well as family counseling. I have been on social media for quite a long time. In Urdu language, I used to have my programs on marital issues and family issues.
Okay, and I believe you've also written a book termed The Life Partner.
Yeah, long time back I wrote a book on life partner, and I have designed workbooks on spouse selection and early child upbringing. I've designed a curriculum based on moral values for upper primary and lower primary schools.
So to all our viewers, Sheikh is open to questions tonight regarding any areas of his expertise. You can send in your questions on +255 786 419 719. So Sheikh, as we're aware that we're on this episode regarding it's quarantine secondary to this COVID-19 crisis that we're on. So we would just like to get your feedback on all across the world. You know, there is a stress on self-isolation, quarantine. Everyone feels stuck at home. But how do you think they can effectively manage their time in a quarantine?
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The most important thing is, what is my perspective about this COVID-19, which is very important. Yes, people are in stress and they have a fear, and which is very natural. But what is important is, how do we perceive things? So my question will be, can we have a positive life with a negative mindset?
Wow. Yes.
We can't.
That's
right?
true.
So we have to think positively. Anything which happens, there is a positive side of it and there's a negative side of it. So this is an opportunity for many to improve their life, especially their family life, especially their relationships with others. So this is a blessing. In a way, it is a blessing for many, and it's a test for many. So we have to see how we look into it and how we act on this situation.
True. So like you said, faith and fear have become the paramount in this COVID-19 situation. And faith over anything, of course, but that fear, it has encountered in many different ways.
We can see in such a way that fear, if this fear is taking you closer to God, it is good. But if this fear is taking you down, then it is not good.
Alhamdulillah.
That's the way.
So that's actually really true, because we want to get realigned with God during this time that we have. And we also at the same time want to get closer and reconnect to the ones who we may have lost touch with.
Right.
So, as far as I briefly know, there's 4 dynamics of connection.
Right.
So, how can we implement that in our quarantine?
Yeah, it's a very important question because this is the opportunity which has been given by God to us to reflect and to get back to that track which we have lost in the way. So, according to Islamic perspective, there are 4 types of relationship which we need to know and work on that and build our relationship on those 4 areas. The first area is self. For example, in the hadith of Holy Prophet, we say, Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabba. So if you know yourself, you will know your Lord. So the first step is to know yourself, to work on yourself. And that is to realize your existence and your purpose of existence and the area of perfection which you need to reach and all this. I don't want to go into detail, but this is the area where we need to work on. And this is the golden opportunity you have because you are at home. And you have plenty of time to think and reflect on yourself that for what I have been created, what was the purpose of my creation? Am I reaching towards perfection? Because everybody wants to reach perfection. But where is that perfection? In what thing is that perfection? So this is the time to realign yourself with God and ask for perfection. Although perfection has 4 elements. The first aspect is the sense of curiosity. Every human being has a sense of curiosity. Whether it's a child or it's an adult, it doesn't make any difference. So when you have sense of curiosity, then why not to take opportunity from this time and increase your curiosity to gain knowledge, to find what is the reality, what is the truth, what is haq, right? So this is the first aspect, to work on yourself and take yourself towards perfection. And one of the perfection is to improve yourself in different aspects of life that we'll discuss some other time. The other thing is your relationship with God. And we all know how good our relationship is with our God. So God is calling us. It's a call. So He has asked from us. We should try to do that. So that we get energized and we become strong in our faith, in our practice, in our belief. The other thing is my relationship with nature. With nature means the natural environment and whatever is existing in this environment. So how am I playing that role as a human being, as a Muslim? What is my role towards environment? Am I polluting the environment or I am protecting the environment? That is very important for us to think. And how do I deal with animals and plants and other things? The other dimension is human beings, the others, other human creation of God. So how I am dealing with them? What is my relationship with other beings? Me, myself, my family members, my relatives, my friends, my community, the Muslim Ummah. So I have to think on these lines, and it's the golden opportunity to think and work on these lines and build your relationship stronger and stronger every day and have a plan for it.
Alhamdulillah. So I feel like this is the time we're doing the best with nature because we're not polluting it now. We're all staying indoors. We're not, at least we're trying. But as you said about connecting to ourselves, to God, and to human beings, can you enlighten us in this view? So if we start with connecting to ourselves, how can we divide our time throughout the day so that we can effectively manage?
All right. If we are in the state of quarantine and you don't have that fear, because you know that fear will not take you anywhere, and this fear, if it's there to help you to build yourself, is good. So the first thing is, I will set goals. Till I'm in quarantine, I will set goals. For example, I will set goals for my physical health. That, okay, am I underweight or am I overweight? I need to see, and I have to come to a point where I'm average. Okay, I have balanced my diet. I have to take a balanced diet so that I don't get such kind of food or diet which affects my health. I want to be slim and smart and fit. So I have to see my diet, I have to see my physical fitness at the same time, so I stay on track. That is the first thing which is important, which is related to my health. Because if I become ill or sick it is going to affect my whole life. Everything is based on my health. If health is good, then you can be active. As we say that healthy mind is in healthy bodies. So we have to think about our health. The other thing is the intellectual development. We are at home and we have plenty of time. So how am I working on my intellectual development? Are we reading books to gain knowledge? Are we listening to informative things? And what am I doing to increase my knowledge? Because knowledge and intellect works together. Okay, they go hands in hand. So if I have to think to develop my intellectual aspect, I have to gain knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more it helps you to think rationally, logically, and evaluate. For example, what is the relationship between knowledge and intellect? Knowledge is if you have seen a candle light, okay, the oil which is in that candle, we call it Shirazi, right? The light which is there. So the oil is knowledge and the light is intellect.
Wow.
Okay. This is the relationship. So we need to understand that if I have to increase my intellectual capacity, I have to gain knowledge. Then I have to start thinking, because Islam wants us to think, because we are human beings. Animals are not supposed to think, plants are not supposed to think, we are supposed to think. So thinking is very important, and for thinking also Islam has guided us. So there's a whole detail of that thinking process in itself. So these are the two main things which we need to work on: to reflect, to think about God's creation, His Asmaul Husna, think about Asmaul Husna of God and the attributes of God, so that we connect to God, we realign ourselves with God, and our relationship becomes strong. The other thing is, what is my plan for future? Because I am thinking about myself, I am thinking about the skills which I should learn. This is the golden opportunity. There's so many online free courses going on in this quarantine phase. So you can learn any skill you want, and you can be something different from what you are, because you have gained so many things. So these are the opportunities you have in your life, and God has given you without any cost. So you can learn skills, because this skill is to develop. For example, you can learn communication skill, you can learn computer skills, you can learn language skills. So there's so many things is offered, and especially it's free. So we take benefit from that. So if you have any intention of doing anything for yourself, for your spiritual development, for your physical development, emotional development, social development, you can do that.
Wow, I think that was really informative and comprehensive. So, in line with our government policies to date, we are on a level where we're social distancing.
Right.
Okay, and the measures that have been taken right now is that students are right now at home, kept
Yes.
indoors. So, how would you advise for time spending in the family during this period?
Okay, it's an important question, because I can see in the school also, and the students, they want to come back to study, although we have kept them home and we are giving them online classes, and we have made them busy studying at home. It's a challenge, and it is something interesting for them also to experience online classes.
Yeah.
So when they are home, obviously their time has to be divided. Okay, we can't be very hard and fast in that rules, because we don't live into that circumstances. So our experience is new in this quarantine. Situation is totally different. We have never experienced it. So we have to be flexible as parent and as children. So in that time, if you specify a certain time for your personal growth, that is very good. The other thing is the communication with your parents is the most important thing. That is what is lacking in today's world, because everyone is busy, parents are working, children are also busy, so they don't interact. And when they interact, they are mostly in stress or pain or grief or sad. So the communication is not healthy communication. So at this moment, you have a golden opportunity to sit together, even if you're sitting for 10-15 minutes, but be positive. Try to discuss the positive attributes of each other. Try to find good things in each other and express it. If you think as a child, I think my mother is a good cook, I should say that, Mama, you are a good cook. I love the food you cook for us. And the mother should also tell me, I like you because you are obedient, for example. So this thing has to come into my daily routine, that we appreciate each other, we acknowledge each other, rather than criticizing and complaining and blaming, because this is not going to help. We are going to be here for months. So it's better to create a healthy environment rather than negative environment. Yes.
Correct. And on a lighter note, actually, in statistics, it shows that on an average, there's only 10 minutes of a healthy conversation that occurs when you're on a dinner table. The rest of the time, it's just pass me this or do that, don't do this. So I think the fact that you mentioned that there should be some positive conversation anytime throughout the day, it's very important.
Yes, what I would like to add here is, you see, when you are on the dinner table or you're having lunch together or anything together, it is okay. Whether you speak for 10 minutes or you don't speak at all, you just eat. But after that, you should sit together and have something to share. Okay, that is the discussion time. At that time, you can have seeds to eat or fruits to eat together, and that you make a healthy discussion. You can discuss you can recall your past memories, especially the memories where you all enjoyed together. So that will take you to the world where you had a good time. And this is a beginning of a positive thinking, because you are recalling your past memories where you were happy and you were happy together. And that is what you want to create at home, because already we are in stress, we have a fear, and we have to come out of it. So when we start thinking and calling good memories, we are creating good environment. When you're creating good environment, that's the starting point to create a positive and proactive environment at home. So this is what we need to do. We need to sit and have a good time. Don't fix the time. Be flexible, but whenever you get the time, whenever you sit together, be positive. That is very important.
Alhamdulillah. Speaking of memories, I think the best people to share memories are grandparents.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
hearing their stories.
Yes.
So, on that note, we'll take a 1 minute break. Meanwhile, we would just like to let our viewers know that there's a new campaign that has been launched, Advice from the Wise, and it's in line with our topic for today. So, while we take this break, just have a look at the poster and get oriented. dear viewers. So just before we go on, I would like to let you know how this procedure works for the new campaign. You just have to involve one of the elders in your families. You can get them to give an advice and take a picture of them holding the advice, and the details of where they have to be sent have been shared on the poster. And once again, to remind you all, the number to send in your questions is +255 786 419 719. Sheikh, getting back to the topic on grandparents, how would you advise our viewers to connect to the grandparents at this point in time?
Yeah, this is a very important question, because grandparents are waiting for this opportunity to sit together with their son, daughters, and especially their grandchildren. And they love to share their experiences of life. They want to help. They want to share their concerns and worries and achievements. So it is the golden opportunity to learn, and from the experience, as Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam says, that save your ears by discussing and getting to know about your future by your elders. So the experience which my grandparents have of 60 years of experience, they are sharing it to me and they are giving me free. Their advice is free, and you know that experience is knowledge itself. So it is the great opportunity to have a family bond where parents and grandparents are given the opportunity to sit and speak and share their good memories, again, their good experiences of life, and their good piece of advice, so that we can learn from that and improve our life. So it is the best time, and they feel energized, they feel happy. And once you make somebody happy, and at least you can make a smile on their face, it's a sawab from God. So this is the opportunity which parents and grandparents are looking for it, and we should give them chance. We should serve them. Rather than just sit and listen stories, we should serve them, because that is the blessing we need from them, and their prayers makes us successful in our lives. So if we can build and strengthen that bond, nevertheless, this is the best chance. Yes.
Alhamdulillah, that's really inspirational. So we also have this in Islam of, I feel like Islam, it has been so vast and so detailed about a family, its constituents, the way of life. So how can we categorize families such that they can have maximum use out of this time?
Okay, the Islamic concept of family life, it starts from husband and wife and children. This is the first level, and then it expands from grandparents, and then the relatives, and then onwards till we go and become a Muslim ummah. It's the biggest family we have. So Islam sees from that angle up to that height, because we have to take care of everyone. And then it goes to humanity. So Islam is a religion of humanity, and it thinks about every human being. And then when you uplift yourself, you don't even think about human being, you think about the whole universe. Because we are ashraful makhlukhat. So I'm not going into that detail. I will just come back to the family, and I will try to categorize them in such a way that becomes easy for us to see in that perspective. For example, the first category is husband and wife with children under 8 years old. So if we categorize them into first category, so there will be some activities with children of this age that we will discuss. The other categorization can be under 16, parent with under 16, and then the other plus 16. So we have categorized family into 3 categories. Grandparents or in-laws can be part of all 3 or may not be. So when we are looking in this category where children are of under 8 years old, we can see that these kind of children, they want to play with their parents. Their interest is in playing.
Yes.
Okay, so they want their father, their mother to play the game they like. Unfortunately, we want them to play what we like. This is not fair. So let them ask us, what do they want to play with us? So we will join them and we will play with them, even if we don't like it, even if it's very childish. But it is okay, because this is the time to build that bond. This is the time to show them that we really care about you and we respect your opinion and we like you. That's why we are playing with you. Yes, they may ask for hours and hours of games. You can be flexible with it, and you can give them some limits also. But we need to make sure that we do what they want, because we are for them. That is where the importance and the value of a child is measured. They judge us this way, that okay, are you listening to me or not? Are you doing what I want? When you give me what I want, then I will give you what you want.
Yes.
So this is the exchange which we want from them, and it is their time actually. So this is one category. So there can be board games, there can be video games, there can be a time when you will see the children of under 16 even, they would like to sit and watch movie with you, or cartoons with you, or they want to be with you. They want your company. They don't want your dictations. They don't want your advice and suggestions. They just want you to be there. So if that's the case, be with them. Just be there. Be happy. That is very important. If your mood is serious, or you are not happy, or you have some worries, don't be there. When you are with them, be with happy mind, happy face. So they really enjoy your company. And then you can exchange at that time when they are observing something, they are watching something, they are doing something. Then you can ask questions in such a way that you connect that game, that movie to God. It's an indirect approach. So so this is first category. The second category, where we are talking about children under 16. So they are now not emotional, they are more heading towards intellectual. Okay, this age where mind starts working, thinking, analyzing, categorizing. So they need to talk something intellectual. So you can discuss things with them, you can discuss ideas with them. You can talk about, okay, what we are going to do with the furniture of the house. Are we going to rearrange something? How are we going to do the house chore? Are we dividing some work, or we are throwing out the old stuff? You know, something where they are involved and they want to share and they want to change things their way. So we have to, if we can, then we should, and give them importance in that way. Maybe you can ask, if they are intelligent, you can ask them, okay, in this current time, what can we do new in our life? What new things do you want to bring into our family? What are those values which you think we should add in our family? So you will see they will give you their ideas. Whether it's right or wrong, they have to share. So let's start thinking together, planning together, because they are under 16 and they have brilliant ideas, they have new ideas. So let's share and talk. That is very important. Let them talk openly, be open-minded. Yes, guidance is there, but our open-mindedness is very important. Then we come to above 16, the third category. That is a category which is very important, because they are now your advisors. In this category, you can ask them that how can we serve community in quarantine? Because in this situation, we need so many things to serve people, to serve our neighbors, to serve ourselves. So they will come with new ideas. For example, I was talking to one of the youth that what are you going to do in this quarantine when you're home? She said, I know how to sew, then I will stitch mask and I will serve the community with that. And that was a brilliant idea.
Amazing, yes?
Yeah, so they were coming with ideas that I will produce this, I will make sanitizers, and then I will distribute sanitizers, because I know I'm good in chemistry. So, I have worked in the laboratory and I know how it works. So from home I can do this, I have planned that. So when you talk to youths, you realize they know more than us what to do. We have to provide
Very
opportunities as a good parents. Yes.
So since we're on this, there's just a question that has come in from one of our viewers. She says, I would like to ask or share a thought about gadget use. In a way, we're all trying to keep our kids away or maintain timings on the use of gadgets. But the situation now is so that we have to make them fully compatible with the gadgets. Any suggestion on this issue?
Yes, the important thing is gadget everybody is using. If I am using 4 hours a day and I want my child to use only 2 hours a day, I'm not doing justice, right? So we need to understand everything has to be within the limits. And children, especially those who are under 8 or 10 years old, if you tell them that you have to leave this mobile or gadget after 2 hours and be honest and responsible, this is not going to happen. They cannot, because they are emotionally involved and attached and addicted to it. They will not leave it until you come and you say, this was the commitment, now I am taking it from you. So it's the parent's responsibility to control and manage the use of gadget. Now everything is online. So if the child is involved in such a way that they are doing online courses or doing some activity on gadget, it is okay, because we are in that phase where gadget is more utilized, but not to the level where it's harming you. So the child becomes addicted. No, we don't want this. We have to give breaks. And then make the child active doing something physically, because physical activity is also very important. So there has to be a balance. Not continuously for 2 hours and 3 hours. 1 hour is enough, and then do some physical activity. Then take it for another hour. But parents need to monitor. This is very important. Yes.
Okay, and just one more question about how can you handle a child who is with special needs?
Okay, as a parent, special need, when the children goes to the special needs schools, they know that there are teachers who are trained and they are available. There are online trainings available for special needs children, and those schools also offering these kind of trainings to the parents. They can even come to home and train the parents. Or there can be some other way to engage those teachers to train these parents. So this is a golden opportunity again for parents to ask the schools to train them, to come home or arrange a workshop with social distance and get trained how to handle the children, those who are of special needs, because they need special training for that. Yes.
So since we're running a little short on time, we will be getting back to questions if we get any more, but we want to, now that we've spoken about connecting to human beings, connecting to ourselves, how do we use this opportunity to get spiritually closer and realigned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Okay, the most important thing is the intention. My intention and my will. Is it there or not? The thirst and the drive is there within me or not? If it's there, then automatically you will take out some time when you are all alone, when you want to be alone with God. And that is the time when you start reflecting. And the best way of reflecting is to recall His bounties and blessings which He has given to us. That's the starting point. That is what we call hamd. Okay, any prayers which starts with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So we have to see what God has given us. So we will see there are many things which He has given, it's countless. So once you start thinking that God gives us everything, then there is a bright light, inside you, which starts illuminating, which increase. And then you start doing shukr of God. That is the way you connect to God. And then the ask for forgiveness for whatever I have done intentionally or unintentionally. So my connection to God starts from doing His hamd and shukr at the same time, then ask for forgiveness. And for this, in the month of Sha'ban, there are so many du'as of the month of Sha'ban. If we go into Saif as-Sajjadiyah and look into those du'as, it will help us to really connect to God in the way we should, because our imams knows how to connect to God. And the language they have used, the way they have expressed those wordings and the meanings, it really changes your mind. It really makes you think differently. And that's the best time we can connect to God, because we have time for God. And God wants us to connect to Him. But if we want to talk to God, then we have to read Quran. The recitation of Quran is God is communicating to us, and dua is we are communicating to God. So imams, the way they have asked God, the way they have done supplication, we are going to do the same way. So we are communicating to God this way, and God is communicating through Quran to us that way. Yes.
Inshallah. And on this note, I'm sure that 15 Shaban was a good night for everyone to
Inshallah.
reconnect, realign, and on behalf of our team, a belated Kushali Mubarak to all of you. Sheikh, I would like to thank you for joining us tonight and for sharing all that information with us. And to our viewers, after the resolving of this COVID-19 crisis, inshallah, every family will have a story to tell. And we hope that the lessons from tonight's show become a part of your story. With that, thank you very much, and we'll see you again on Tuesday, same time, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your team and everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.